Welcome to tonight's meeting of the Armada Village Council. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Want to call the roll?
Clark.
Here.
Conan.
Here.
Adair. Here. Belkey.
Here.
Barzit. Here. Shaw and Stern are absent.
Okay. You have the agenda. Can I have a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Support.
Motion Clark, supported there. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion's approved. Do we have any citizen comments?
Guess what?
Yep. Please rise, identify yourself, although we all know you.
Ben Zalecki, 22846 West Main. May I approach council?
Sure.
Okay, so this is over something that I've read in the paper a couple times, and it's the village signs that are really village property. So according to last week's paper, you guys are looking at spending up to $10,000 on signs. So,
Well, you gotta give it a couple
think-
extra seconds on the
Well,
minutes.
okay, so then, I think I have, so I don't have enough for everybody,
I'll share.
so you kind of share.
Michelle and I can share one here, no problem.
Okay, so, and, let's see. So what I'm doing here is I'm showing you guys, and I'm wondering why you're doing this. So if I can, this sign right here is the, was taken July 5th, 2024. So this was the signs at the Edison property. And as everybody knows, they weren't maintained and the foliage was bad. Well, my other grandson, Ben's brother Chase, and I went, and you can see the next picture is today, and the front and the back. So Chase and I took all the signs off, all the posts, painted all the posts with a good weather enamel, put all the signs back on that were pertinent to the village. So like the Lionesses aren't around anymore, so those signs were given to the Burville Lions and the Congregational churches, or not the Congregational, but the Assembly of God is gone. So we took the signs off that weren't pertinent anymore and hung the other ones back up with stainless steel bolts and stainless steel washers. Then we took the foliage, cleaned up all the foliage, trimmed all the bushes, and then we painted the plywood that was underneath the village signs and painted the posts. And any of the plywood that was bad, we reinforced. So if you look at the back side of this picture, I don't know if you have that one, that's the reinforcement, and that's typical. So then, this is the one at Edison. Do you have that one? Right. That one's at Edison. Then the one that's this one, what do you have? This one? Okay, so this one, that is the west end of the village. So there was a straight line wind came and knocked down a tree and knocked down that sign. So that was almost 2 years ago. So the nursing home guys went out and they were kind of cleaning it up. Ben the fourth and I went over there, took the sign down. I took it to my house, and over a period of a year, I rebuilt that sign, put new plywood on, and then we went back and redid all the signs and everything like we did before. And we've done that likewise at the township park. The only thing we didn't do was the east end of the village, and we trimmed all the bushes, but we didn't get to painting the signs yet. So I'm wondering why we're spending up to $10,000 on something that already has been done.
Long story short.
What's that?
I said, long story short, yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
and I'm in this because my wife Kathy Delecky is the reason those signs are there.
First of all, you know, we can't really discuss it, this is citizen comments, but thank you for all the work
Why don't
you
we just
did.
have him come in
And
meet with
this is not a done deal, it's something that we're looking at, but we'll make sure if they're good, hopefully we won't.
Well, I don't even know
replace
that,
them.
I talked to Dave Wagner, why all the posts were pulled out. So you look at the pictures of today, all the posts are gone.
Yeah.
All the signs that we redid with stainless steel bolts and painted all the posts, those posts are gone. They got pulled out.
Oh.
Why? And I asked Dave why, he told me that somebody on council told him to do it.
Well, I guess I'm not aware of that.
Well, and then I kind of got mad at Dave. He said, "Ben, it's not me." I said, "Dave, you knew those posts were good." He said, "Yeah, I know. They were all freshly painted, all new bolts."
Anyhow, thank you for your comments, Ben. Are there any other citizen comments? Okay, well then, no other comments. No presentation, so we'll move on to administrative reports. Who would like to go first? Amy?
I don't really have any, I have a motion to talk about, but.
You could mention, you know, about what we're putting into the budget.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's gonna, isn't that what, where she's talking about under her item?
no, those are the
Okay.
changes.
Okay,
Okay,
go ahead.
But, well, we are still hoping to do the 7 streets this year. It's $290,000 plus an additional $20,000 for manhole repairs. And the village did agree at the budget meeting last time, or the council agreed that they all want to move forward with that. We might have to take a little loan from the general fund, but everybody is for it. So, you know, I'm just praying that the bid comes back close to that $290,000, so keep your fingers crossed.
Okay, Beth, what?
Does that sound good?
Thank you, Amy. Ross?
All right, just a couple items, we'll see how long my voice lasts. We're working to finalize the water budget for presentation and the budget hearing on a budget workshop on the 24th of February. I had indicated we were going to have the water reliability and contingent well studies at this meeting. We're not quite done with some of the updates, so should not have an issue having them before council for review and acceptance by the next meeting on the 24th. Working with Paul from Rowe on finalizing the lead service line replacement strategy for the village. Probably going to be a couple-year effort to get all these lines done. I'm trying to stay ahead of street stuff. We did conduct an F&V contract review. I know Mike had talked to them a little bit before I got there. This is about a week or so ago, and at the budget hearing, I just reminded council that this is the last year of the F&V contract. It expires at the end of March of next year. So we want to start looking at either keeping these guys on or making an adjustment. Did turn in my draft water commissioner duty and responsibilities paperwork to Michelle. I made sure Dave Wagner turned his in also. I would say at best it's a draft. And then we did have Cummins out here to service our generators as they do twice a year. Found an issue with the generator that services well houses 6 and 7. It's got a cooling system preheater issue, and we want that thing operational. It's great that we don't have as many power outages, it seems like, but want to get that back up, especially for the spring. So cost us about $2,500. I've gone ahead and authorized them to get the thing fixed. And I don't know if you're gonna mention, if Mike was here, he would mention that his generator is also back up and running now. That was down for a period of time, but that's running as well. So that's all I got.
Thank you, Ross. Joe, you got anything?
No, I don't have anything.
Okay. Steve?
I'll fill in for Mike on the sewer. The sump pump was replaced. It was under warranty, so we just got charged for the labor on that. And the electric company and fixed the box that was a bit underwater. And we're checking out a price to move that box. It should have never been where it is, but gonna see how much it'll cost to move it on another 3 feet up the wall, so. That's all.
Okay. Covers the administrative reports. Okay. Consent agenda, you've had a chance to review it. Can I have a motion?
I make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Support.
Clark and Adair. All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Motion's approved. No old business, new business. MML property pool, is that yours, Michelle?
Yep. Wow, how you doing? This is just our annual renewal for our property pool and liability insurance. There was a slight increase that we talked about in the budget meeting, but this is the MML. I would not recommend steering away from the MML, so it's just to renew it.
No, the MML has supported us in the past, so do we have a motion here?
I would make a motion to approve the MML liability and property pool renewal for the 2025-2026 term for a cost not to exceed $53,569.
Support.
Okay, I should have a roll call on this.
Yeah. Belkey,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Conan,
Yes.
Garza,
Yes.
Adair.
Okay. Motion's approved. Appointment to the Planning Commission and the Zoning Board of Appeals.
So we had commissions that are running out, so this is just to reappoint the people that we have.
Okay. So can we get a motion here?
I'll make a motion to comply with the president's recommendations to appoint Kevin Graham to the Planning Commission to a term ending December 31st, 2027, subject to the appointee meeting the qualifications set forth in Chapter 2 of the General Law Village Act.
Support.
Okay. All in favor of the motion? Motion's approved. Okay, for the next one,
I'll make a motion to comply with the president's recommendation to appoint Al, how do you pronounce the last name?
Panajasic.
Panajasic
Patajuzic.
Yeah.
to the Planning Commission to a term ending December 31st, 2027, subject to the appointee meeting the qualifications set forth in Chapter 2 of the General Law Village Act.
Support.
okay, all in favor of the motion? Aye. Motion's approved. Now for the Zoning Board of Appeals.
I'll make a motion to comply with the president's recommendation to appoint Kevin Graham to the Zoning Board of Appeals to a term ending December 31st, 2027, subject to the appointee meeting the qualifications set forth in Chapter 2 of the General Law Village Act.
Support.
Okay. All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Aye. Motion's approved. And next one.
Make a motion to comply with the president's recommendation to appoint Dennis Lemieux to the Zoning Board of Appeals to a term ending December 31st, 2027, subject to the appointee meeting the qualifications set forth in Chapter 2 of the General Law Village Act.
And I support that.
All in favor of the motion? Aye. Motion's approved.
We should say also, I think there's still a position open on ZBA,
Yeah.
so if anybody's interested, happily,
Secretary.
yeah, well,
Yeah.
they haven't set those yet, so.
Okay. Okay, we got a couple change orders from the Simon Street and First Street paving. Amy, I think this is
This
yours.
is me. I make a motion to approve the change order number 2 for the Simon Street and First Street paving project, authorizing payment of an additional $5,821.15 to Telto Contracting, Inc., and to authorize the street administrator to sign on the village's behalf.
Support.
Barzak and Clark.
Yep.
We need a roll call on this.
Barzick,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Adair? Yes. Belkey,
Yeah.
Conan?
Yes. You got to change over number 3
I
now?
do. I make a motion to approve change order number 3 for the Simon Street and First Street paving project, authorizing payment of an additional $2,984 to Telto Contracting, Inc., and authorize the street administrator to sign on the village's behalf.
Support.
Okay. Roll call again?
Barzick,
Yes.
Belkey,
Yes.
Adair? Yes. Conan,
Yes.
Clark?
Yes.
How much was the amount? For the second one?
$2,984. Okay. One of Ann's favorite things. Budget amendments.
This one is to cover the 3 change orders from Rowe on the First and Simon Street project. The first one was for $17,190, and the 2 that you just approved, $58,2115 and $29,84 for $25,995. So I moved $26,000 from muni to local to cover that. And then down below, you'll see the money coming in and money going out to road.
So, could I have a motion here?
Go ahead.
I make a
Your voice is
motion
better.
to approve the budget amendment for the municipal street fund increase transfer to local street fund in the amount of $26,000 to cover an additional construction cost for First and Simon Street, which brings the total estimated fund balance for the municipal street fund from $101,416.74 to $75,406.74.
Support.
Do we need roll call then?
Yeah. Well, I guess, you want a roll call? It's up to you.
Money.
Yeah. Okay. Barzick,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Conan,
Yes.
Belkey,
Yes.
Adair? Yes.
Okay. Now we need the motion for the local street fund.
I make a motion to approve the budget amendments for the local street fund increase transfer from municipal street fund in the amount of $26,000 as presented, and increase professional service engineering in the amount of $26,000 to cover additional construction costs for First and Simon Streets, which doesn't change the total estimated fund balance of the local street fund.
Support.
Barzick and Clark. Call the roll.
Barzick,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Adair? Yes. Conan,
Yes.
Belkey?
Yes.
Okay, covers the budget amendment. Okay, we don't have any closed session. Do we have any upcoming agenda items that we want to put on now?
Yes, those 2 reports.
What reports?
This will be the water reliability study and the contingent well study. Again, the council's gonna get copies, or encourage you to read them. And then really what I'm gonna ask for at the meeting is just that you accept them.
Accept the reports.
Yeah, accept the reports. So maybe not a big item, but that's an agenda item that we'll put.
Okay, what was the second one?
Contingent well study.
That was what, that's the one we authorized here
Yeah,
a few months back.
yeah, that's looking
Okay.
at village-owned properties and the ability to site another well and would it be productive?
Okay. Are there any other items? Okay.
Yeah, that's probably it.
Okay, moving on. Are there any citizen comments?
Guess what? Okay, so this is on one of your agenda items. Can I ask a question?
Yes.
So you're talking about the lead lines in the village, so what lines are lead? Are those village lines or are those service lines?
The lead service lines have potentially two issues. Take a step back. You may have a lead gooseneck, which is a connection to the water main. It's on the corporate side, it's a village-owned piece of equipment, I guess. You could have potentially a lead service line, which is on the private side of the curb stop, what we call curb stop. That's generally where you draw a line between public and private. The state, the federal government, the state government says if we find something there, the village is going to pay for it.
So the
To
village is going
replace
to
it.
pay for
Yeah.
the private lines?
On a private line, yes, up to your water meter. So that is what the
Well, wait a
state's
minute, wait a minute.
requirement is.
So the public line is to the water meter, from the main to the water meter?
Public line is from the main to the curb stop,
Correct.
which is generally at your sidewalk.
Yeah, I misspoke, so not meter, but
Yeah.
the stop
And the
box.
private line, a homeowner's line, generally, most of the time, almost always, is a homeowner's responsibility that it's from the curb stop to the water meter. It's because it's on private property. But the
Understood.
federal government and the state says if we find lead, and I doubt we're gonna find lead, but we'll likely find some galvanized lines. In fact, we know there's some galvanized lines. It's on the village to replace those.
The village is going to replace galvanized lines also,
Yeah, it's up to the water meter.
up to the what, meter?
Water meter.
So the village is going to take on the homeowner's responsibility?
Federal government and the state have told all municipalities virtually across the country they're gonna do that.
It's a good thing the government's spending their money again.
Well,
They do it
what,
well.
what you might say is that the government sees the hazardous conditions that lead service lines or galvanized, previously connected to lead, can create, and what they're trying to do is get those out of the ground.
So the people that did all their upgrades and everything are dust and wind.
Yeah, I did an upgrade too.
Yeah,
So-
I
Yeah,
did too.
I did too.
Yeah.
1-inch copper.
But anyhow,
Okay, thank you.
moving on. Are there any other citizens? Yes.
Well, I was just wondering, you know,
Stand up,
I'm
identify
sorry,
yourself.
Galen Barker, okay.
Thank you.
Actually, it's for Amy, I think, I don't know, but I wanted an update on the roads. Since last time, that when I was here, you were gonna almost eliminate a couple. Now, you mentioned these other roads today. Now, is that in addition to the 7? Are we still gonna have the 7?
We're hoping to still do the 7. I wanna
Okay.
do 7 streets
Yeah,
this year.
okay.
So we're just waiting to get the bidding process started, and we're hoping that the bidding process, the bid's gonna be around the 290,000.
Mhm.
That's what we're waiting for now. So I
Okay.
am hoping for that, and everyone has agreed that it's a good idea to do the 7 streets. We're just waiting for that.
Okay, and also I just saw in the news before, the governor has stated that she's going to apply so many millions to the roads. This was like something I hadn't seen previously, I just saw it tonight, so
Sarah?
maybe that would be a
This-
help.
This week I'm gonna start on
For everything.
on my grant paperwork and see if there's anything that we can possibly apply for.
Because this might
so.
be a new one with,
Well,
something.
Yeah, hey, any little bit
I
helps,
just saw
for
that,
sure.
yeah.
And so, yes, thank you for bringing that up. And we're gonna work on some grants, you know, you gotta apply to get something. And it's not to say that we'll get it, but we'll try. so.
Now, is there a time limit when you're going to present this information, when that you get it? Like the approval on you know, on-
Right, now, today I just signed the, proposal for the street project, for the engineering part of that, and so then that goes back to Paul from Rowe, and then they still have some more work to do before they can put it out for bids. So the timeline, I'm not exactly sure about, but once they put it out for bids, there's only one company that does this, so we're really only gonna get probably one bid. But once they do that, it takes 3 weeks. They have to give them 3 weeks to, whoever wants to bid on the project. So it's gonna be a little bit still, but, you know, just keep your fingers crossed that the price is gonna be about the same. So, we're hoping so. We're hoping that it's gonna be around the 290, so.
that's good. I was hoping, you know, when it was gonna come about.
Yeah,
you
it's
know,
gonna
I
take a
thought,
little
well,
while because all this engineering stuff, it takes
So
time.
they don't just keep putting it off and putting it off, you know what I mean?
I'm not gonna let them put it off.
Good.
Are there any other citizen comments? Okay, then moving on, is there any council comments?
Mr. President,
Yes.
I'd just like to clarify, because it's been said a couple of times tonight by the street administrator, that the council has not approved anything yet as far as doing the streets. We have to wait for the bids to come in and see where those are before we can do anything.
But we are putting 290,000 in the budget, but we don't have the
We
bids
haven't-
back.
We have not done that yet.
Yeah,
We haven't put that there. And it was also said that we might need a little loan from general. Most likely what's gonna happen is general will have to fund that project up front. So streets will not have the money again until 25's taxes have been collected to pay even part of it back. So I just wanna clarify, it's not done, it's not approved, there's been no vote on it. That's it.
but we are putting it in the budget.
Planning for
290,000.
it, yeah.
We're
Yeah.
waiting to see what the bid comes back.
Okay, are there any other council comments? And, community events, what do we got coming up here?
Nothing. It's the middle of winter.
No?
A lot of winter.
So if that,
Snow on Wednesday.
if that's the case,
Saturday.
actually, the guys have been doing a great job on snow removal, I think. I guess I would entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion, we adjourn the meeting at 7:27.
Support.
All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.